Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another therapist-led webinar session on Positivity's platform. I am Shatadeepa, in-house psychologist and ops executive at Positivity. We are a Singapore headquartered mental health organization working incessantly to bring quality mental health care to all of you. Currently, we are operational in Middle East, Malaysia, and India. And we have a group of 27 very enabled and expert psychologists with us. So if you are looking forward to joining your mental health journey today, please visit the website and look us up. Today, we have gathered here to be able to talk about the evolving smart technology like artificial intelligence and how our mind or whether our minds are becoming much more vulnerable, impressionable, fragile due to the excess usage of AI. Now, where to draw a balance, how to use AI to our strength and not to create a dependency. That will be a matter of discussion today. We have Ms. Anpurna joining us as the expert speaker. Annapurna has several years of experience in the field of counseling psychology. She works with adults, couples, children, adolescents every day in her clinical practice, working through several mood and personality conditions, lifestyle challenges. And she is the very right and capable individual to be able to bring in this insights how behavior and brain is getting shaped with this evolving technology usage. So thank you, Annapurna, for joining us today. And without further ado, request you to get started on today's topic.
Thank you, Shatadeepa, for the beautiful introduction again. And hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And today we are going to speak about something that um, we, all of us, use it on a daily basis. Before we start with, I want to check the vibe with you all. How many of you have, in the past week, talked to your AI instead of a real friend or a real person, asking about your emotions? Well, you do not have to type in the chat box, but just ask yourselves how many of you have actually reached out to your AI chat box, be it Gemini, be it ChatGPT, or any other those kind of AI friend apps, and you have maybe asked something about life, something about what you're feeling, something um, meaningful that you are seeking answers from a AI tool. And if you can remember, how many of you have, you know, asked questions to a chat box in a chatbot, you have asked question of how to do things in certain way. For example, let's say a few years ago when AI, artificial intelligence, when we use this term artificial intelligence or AI, it seems like we are in some kind of futuristic world, but it has become a core of us now. It has become part of our life now, and it feels very surreal, that we are actually living in a world where artificial intelligence is a part of ourselves, is a part of the everyday life now. When you remember a few years ago when you had a free Saturday like today, let's say, you would have to think about it, how you're going to plan your Saturday. Maybe you had ideas, you had kept thoughts open. Maybe you would go to a friend, you would go for a movie, you would enjoy some quality time with yourselves. But today, what we are doing, we are skipping those moments, we are skipping those thinking part and going on a full on detailed conversation mode with our chat box. We are talking, asking them, hey, chat, or hey, Gemini, or hey, AI assistant, how am I supposed to share? How am I supposed to, spend a Saturday? Please tell me. And then your chat would come up with a lot of ideas which are fairly okay. But you might be wondering what is wrong in it. What is wrong in it when your AI assistant, technically, artificial intelligence is there to guide us, is there to support us. So, what is there? What is wrong in just answering or having a conversation this way? Um, so I'm going to give you a very basic example for this. Imagine you have a vehicle. you take your example. You have a two-wheeler, you have a four-wheeler, you have a vehicle, and you move in that vehicle for every minor in you know necessity that you feel like, except going in your household, like from the kitchen to bathroom or your bed. Wherever you go outside, whenever you go outside, you use your vehicle. Okay? You use your motorcycle, let's say, for going to a shop just next door. You're going with the bike to get your vegetables. You're going in the bike for your work. You're going in your bike for the movie, for everyone, and you're skipping your steps. Now what? Now you will start feeling the physical discomfort because you're not moving, your body is not moving. You will have your knee pains. Okay, you'll start your legs will be weakening. You won't be able to walk long distance next time. Same things are going on with us in our mental health. So this was a physical health example, and I want you to find the correlation between physical and mental health. Okay. Now, mental health, what's happening here is because we are using AI for the littlest thing, for the minor inconvenience, we are going to our AI help, AI assistant, uh, because what we have a thought in our mind that these things are going, these are, helpful for us and they are going to help us. So we go them for some minor questions, asking, what should I do today? Or what should I wear today? Maybe sending pictures even. I have got this. What color would go on a nice Saturday afternoon? We are skipping the part where our brain, you know, we are skipping the part where our brain actually starts thinking, where we actually take decisions. Then what happens? Then our mind weakens because our brain is very capable of thinking, it's very capable of problem solving, it's very capable of decision making. Because we are not using our brain to our 100% now, and we are depending on AI. That is what is making our brain weak. That is what is making our mind fragile. All right. That brings us today's topic: smart technology, practically AI, making our mind fragile. And how do we actually balance AI in our day-to-day life? So today I have a few slides for you all that I'll be sharing with. Um, okay, let me share my screen and make it a slides. Okay. Hmm. I would like to call this a digital tug of war. So AI was technically invented for our assistance, right? It was invented by humans, for our guidance, for our assistance, so that we can go and ask help. We can go and ask for, guidance for some task. But it has become a tug of war. In this day-to-day competition, day-to-day life, we have forgotten who's actually the master. I would definitely, who's really in control. Okay. AI has woven in our everyday life. Okay. Every critical to every minor inconvenience, we have started using these tools as a part of our life. That is what is making our, it's making us question ourselves. Are we controlling AI or is AI controlling us? Okay. So so you might be thinking what is actually fragile means. Okay. Fragile in day-to-day life, if I'm going to give you a very easy example, when you're using AI for every simple problem, our thinking muscles are getting weaker, right? So that weakness is our fragile. So fragile, you have heard maybe this child is very fragile because this child get very sick easily. So those kind of fragile, maybe I'm talking about physical health, but when it comes to mental health, you're not able to take criticisms because your AI chatbot would not judge you. You feel it does not judge you. Now imagine this scenario. You had a very bad day at work, let's say. You had some dispute with your colleagues, with your boss, with your HR, let's say. And then you had to take this out. You had to take out your frustration. You you did not know whom to go or whom to share, and you ended up talking to your AI chatbot. AI would not judge you. It'll give you a perfect response, whatever you wanted to hear. But instead, if you would go to a friend, let's say, to a human person, to a human friend, they would say that maybe, you also have your fair share of issues. You also have your fair share of um, problem. Maybe you also a little bit egoistic. And that would make you crazy. Like, how can my friend, a person, would judge me? Why would you say that there was something wrong with me too? There was something wrong with how I approached the situation. But your AI assistants would not say you so. That would give you a perfect response every single time. It wouldn't judge you. And at those times like this, when we are so much emotionally dependent on our AI, on our assistants, on our smart technology, that's how we become fragile. That's how we are unable next time, will not be able to handle criticisms, handle positive criticism that can actually help us be better in our life, in our decision making. Okay, we would be fearing small disagreements. So instead of being fragile, we'll find out in the next slides how to build resilience. Okay, how to not lose our mental grit. Instead, even if when we are using artificial intelligence. Okay, now it's a real question. See, today's world, I have seen many people online, as well as clients that come to me. They do now they have talked to ChatGPT, for example, as a therapist, you know, as a diary, as a friend, because they understand them. I'm sure um, at some point you too have felt that the smart box on your hand understands you more than any people ever, any person ever. The smart box, the smart tool in your hand understands you more. You might have thought that this AI is, first of all, it's free. It's understanding you much better. It's making us feel good about us, right? So, there are many webinars that you'll be finding in the positivity websites as well as in YouTube, who are talking about these topics in detail. And if you want to really understand how to balance AI, I think you'll also need to go and check those webinars talking by some amazing therapists themselves. You know, they are speaking the same thing. How to actually, how AI is slowly mixing in our life in that way that we are forgetting our human roots. We are forgetting our human connection because we are so much easily dependable on a robot. Yes, a robot. Now think to yourself, are we really talking in a human tone to a computer more than actually understanding our friend or our partner, who sometimes have their own opinions, right? Who sometimes have their own um, disagreements. And that is a part of a healthy relationship. That is a part of a healthy life. Now, what is this AI costing us? What is it making us risk when we talk about AI confession, when we are speaking so deeply to our AI assistants, when we are talking to it as our daily diary, when we are talking to it as a friend or our best friend or a therapist. First of all, it's reducing our attention span, because every time minor inconvenience happen, we turn up to our assistants. Like, what should I do? I just had an awkward moment. Earlier, what used to happen, if we have let's say, an awkward moment in real time, we used to think about it. Now, oh God, I'm having an awkward uh, moment. I just had let's say, a awkward moment. Help. You would need immediate attention. And that is the reason why our attention span is lessening in real time as well. You're not able to help, or you're not able to help them, yourselves, as well as others if they seek assistance from you as well. Because you yourself are having, conversation with an artificial intelligence. So if any other person is having to come to you as a person, you do not know what to do. you're not able to understand, or you're not able to come up with questions, you're not able to understand, come up with maybe advices or suggestions for them as a friend. This is making us heightened our anxiety. Okay, imagine that I tell you to join, let's say, a peace club, okay, for 3 hours a day, but you'll not have your phone with you. Everyone listening to this webinar would have a feeling, 3 hours without my phone, no smart technology, no social media, no AI. This will immediately, jump, increase our anxiety. How am I going to leave without talking to my friend? How am I be able to survive 3 hours without connecting to my device? Also, it affects our physical health because so many hours a day when we are constantly scrolling our phone or our laptop, let's say, blue light, we are consuming so much of blue light, and it stimulates us so much that we will have difficulty sleeping on bed. And there is also again emotional overstimulation, which is again anxiety or sometimes even depression. Now, how depression or other mental issues can have will come in the future, the upcoming slides. But also, what is happening, the most important topic here is emotional dependency with our chatbots. That's what I've been saying so far. We are feeling that, um, you know, because see, AI is very important. It's a very important tool. It's there to help us. Even I use AI. All of us should use AI for things that would need real help. Maybe guidance, maybe designing, maybe creation. Okay, but not as a emotional dependency. Not, we need to have this line. That's what is most important. We'll come to it though. Um, okay, here I'll. Uh, do you remember a few months ago? I think months ago, there was a trend going on in all of our social media. It was Geminified version of ourselves. Try to recall those moments. I think I'll give you a quick flashback where there was, you know, a pale, refreshing kind of background behind, and this woman with a flowy sari, long hair, a flower on her ear, um, a very beautiful figure and a vibe, just very social media worthy. It was, and there was this Gemini sign logo below. And then one person from another, oh, how did you make this? I want to have this image too. Slowly, so many of us started to curate Geminified version of ourselves. And then comments starting to float like, ah, I wish I was this beautiful. I wish I was the girl in the picture. I wish I was this digital version of myself in real life. That's where the comparison starts. For you, it was just a moment of comparison, maybe a second, but deep down, it affected your thoughts. Deep down, it affected our thought process, the quality of our life. That why can I not be that person that was shown? She's perfect, or he's perfect. Perfect skin, perfect, glow. But I do not have a real life picture or a real life moment like that. Okay. So here is the version, AI never argues, never judges, never is away, it's always available for us, and it makes us think that they're the only one it understands. But what happens in real life? Real life relationships are messy, they're difficult. And that's exactly what makes them healthy, right? Because there will be disagreements. But because we are so much, adapted now to not have disagreements in our life, to not care for criticism, or to have perfect response every time, we are slowly detaching ourselves from our real life humans, real life partner, real life friends, our parents, our relatives. Why? Because we have a box with us now. We have a box that has all solutions to our problems. Hmm? See, we beautify our photos in AI and we start liking the digital version of ourselves. Slowly, this comparison is making us anxious. It's making us uh, dissatisfied with our bodies, right? There are several studies actually that have shown the link between heavy social comparison to increase rates of depression, anxiety, and body dissatisfaction. We feel that our real faces, our real body is not good enough for us. Are you guys able to connect the dots here? What is fragile? What does fragile is meaning right now? What we are talking about? How the smart technology, in this case AI, is making our minds fragile. Okay, here I would like to take a moment. Um, who are most vulnerable? Okay, who are most at risk? Number one, adolescents. Why? Adolescent is a period where people, a human is technically changing their thought processes, learning, developing from a child to an adult. It already comes with a lot of chaos, a lot of different roots, different changing moments in life. And at this time, what they need is support from their elders, support from family, support from friends, real life support. And if they do not get that support, they would turn up to their AI assistants. And AI is never lacking in giving you support. Also, elderly adults who are very new to social media, who are very new to using smart technology, let's say high tech phones or AI, they do not understand the meaning behind of, or it's difficult for them to understand the meaning behind, the or the difference between the reality and what is virtual. Also, if somebody is facing already has issues with mental issues, could be slow learner, slow people who understand slow, or who gets easily manipulated by anything. So at those times, these people can have difficulty, even more difficulty, or they are more prone to risk than others. So here's the landmark 2025 study developed a psychological, there's this, they have identified 19 distinct AI behaviors and 21 negative psychological impacts, all responsible because of the AI design. Now, I want you to ask yourself, okay, I want you to ask yourselves, am I using AI when needed? Can I function without AI? Think about it. Take a moment. Think about it. Have you ever felt this feelings that you cannot study without AI? You had, a moment where you were given a topic to study for your school purpose, for your job purpose, and immediately you turn up to your artificial intelligence. Cannot think without searching, cannot sit without scrolling. Now, let's say because we are so much dependent on AI now, I'll give you one very day-to-day example that most of us probably do it every day. The second point, that we cannot think without searching anymore. See, search tools were there with us for the most times. Okay, word meanings, let's say, for before it was dictionary, then the internet came, and then there was search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo. But that time there was no AI, so they would not pop different. They would just come up with different research articles or something. But now, or Wikipedia, let's say, now there is assistance that would give you detailed question of what you want. You do not have to go for other sites as well. And now, because it's much easier for us, and we stop thinking and start using AI for searching. We do not uh, use it for even for we use it for even small little activities. Okay, let's give a very nice example which can be, fitted. Okay, maybe you plan traveling somewhere. Generally, if there is a popular tourist place, we already know the popular tourist attractions. So this and that, all the itinerary. So what happens if now, because we have an AI, we let the assistant to uh, create the itinerary for us, starting from what place to visit first, where to move onwards, and also how to move on, or where to eat, where to have fun. Sometimes, yes, it can be helpful if you're on a busy day, but if you're traveling, let's say, for relaxing yourself, for rejuvenating yourself, then try thinking more without using your artificial intelligence tools. Try using your own thought processes. That is a different kind of uh, energy. It's refreshing, it's happy, and also it produces a lot of neurochemicals which will eventually make your it will make your trip be more fun. So I've been talking about how AI use can make us fragile, and so many of us have now becoming very close with uh, AIs, and there is emotional dependency. If you've seen the previous slides, dependency. But you know, this AI tools lacks humanness. I want to talk to you about it today, how they or how they do not have these this humanness in themselves. Number one is empathy. Empathy is something that is very human. You will not find it with your AI tools. And that is one reason why going to a real therapist is different than going to your chat box. A real therapist would be empathetic towards you. They would understand you better than a chat box who would pretend to be your therapist, who might give you, yes, a few suggestions here and there, but therapists never give you suggestions. Okay. So true empathy requires lived experience, vulnerability, and people, your AI assistant is just a robot. It does not has it does not have lived experience. It does not have the capacity to feel. Okay. It can mimic the language of basic human conversation, yes, but it cannot share the suffering or pain or joy with you, right? Second is intuition. That gut feeling that we have, that something is going to be good today or something is going to be terrible today. That is human intuition, and it's very powerful. It is embodied with our past experience, our emotion, and unconscious pattern of, you know, recognition accumulated over our lifespan. But AI or artificial intelligence hasn't reached that depth as of yet. For a moment, if you stay away from your devices, let's say from your artificial intelligence tools, that's where your thinking will regain power, regain control. That's how you move with your intuition. Never in my life or anybody senior would have thought that we would be asking people to use more of their own mind in the future. Even I did not think when I was let's say 10 years ago, that I would be talking to people to use their own mind more now. But it's high time that, I mean, it's already time that we think about it more, and also let others, uh, share as much as you can this message to everyone. Use their own skills. Your intuition is a very powerful tool in that you have, that can help you make quick decisions, that can help you make safe decisions, good problem solving and thinking. Also, meaning making is another element that is missing with our AI tools. So, as humans, we do not just process things, we try to find the meaning behind it. We try to interpret things in a way that it identifies with ourselves. Okay. That's how experience is built. That's how, you know, our mind basically works and keep us check for the next time. But your AI toolbox or AI assistant would just, if you ask them to delete it, they'll just delete your conversation, your memories. They'll just forget everything. But as a human, can you forget everything in real life? Can you forget your experience? Can you forget all the emotions that you have felt? Ask yourself. Okay, now let's talk about how do we reclaim the balance, because I have talked to you about, tried showing you the impacts of using AI for emotional dependency. Now, how do we get power back, or how do we reclaim the balance? Because AI is there for us. We cannot practically ignore it. It'll be there. It'll be helpful for us in different tasks. How do we find the balance, which was the core, um, you know, topic for our webinar today, balancing AI for better mental health. First of all, use silence as a recharge moment for yourself. Do not use AI the moment you feel something, any emotion. Do not use AI to escape your emotion. You know, try limiting yourselves to go to your phone the moment you felt maybe a deep emotion. Let's say the moment you felt offended. Try writing it down on a piece of paper, not on your phone or not to your chat box. Write it on a piece of paper, or you can write it on, if you do not have a piece of paper on the moment, you have something called a note app on your Android or your iOS. You'll have it. Write it there, like physically type it, or write. If you, it's better if you have a pen or paper. It's going to give you more, uh, you know, um, effort, or more impactful if you're using writing. Especially, it helps us subconsciously as well. So try writing your thoughts on a paper. Meditate. Meditate doesn't mean, you'll full on full blowing yoga moment. No. Take a take calm, deep breath. Try understanding the feelings you are having. Okay, let's pause. Think about this moment. Are you right now going through a question in your head? Any thought? Okay, any thought which appears to you as a question. Okay. Now, without going to the AI assistant, how about taking a deep breath in and out and think about it? Or take a piece of paper if you have nearby, write it. What thought, and how do we actually help us with those thoughts? Try to understand what feeling you are having. Ask yourself, what feeling am I or am I having right at the moment? It's a Saturday afternoon. You might be feeling hungry as well if you have not grabbed your lunch so far. Write it down. You might be feeling a little bit angry, because I'm speaking about artificial intelligence being emotional dependency, and that is maybe offending you in some way. Write down any thought. Okay, I'm just kidding, but write down any thought that you're having at the moment. Okay. Try understanding yourselves without asking your chatbot. Okay, the second point is, so if any of you are incomplete, then you can do it sometime soon, or maybe after this webinar gets over. We have heard about no entry zones in our towns, in our cities, right? So let's create no AI zones in our life. Give our brain time, some offline time. Give us, give our mind to rest. Give our mind rest as in, peace or space to do their own thing instead of thinking more and more questions on how to do this and how to do that. Because when we are constantly connected, our mind stays active, which will instead make you feel that you are losing sleep, make you feel more tired. More active means what? Your brain is always jumping, is always trying to solve this, is always trying to figure this out and that out and solving great issues and not getting rest, not living in the moment, right? And of course, using AI as a tool to, for helping it in their task and not as a decision maker. So that is something that I have been telling you constantly in this entire presentation, that use your AI tools smartly as a, um, you know, guidance for something, but not as a emotional diary or as your quick fixes for quick, for, small things like what's going on for dinner tonight. I have a few vegetables. Do not ask, try not asking AI and try finding your own solutions by yourselves. Again, let's do this, okay, guys? Whoever is watching this webinar, be it in YouTube or Zoom or anywhere else, if you're watching, let's try to do this starting from today, wherever you are. Let's make our mind healthy again and not be weaker anymore. Because for physical health, if our legs are, like the previous example I gave, if you feel weakness, you'll be going and getting some calcium, let's say getting some vitamin D or some exercise, or let's say maybe medicines. For mental health, you'll have to start using these things. You'll have to practice these things in your day-to-day life. We'll start small, guys. Let's start spending 2 hours a day with 0% technology. Can we do it? Can we have at least 2 hours a day with 0% technology? And by 0%, I mean no social media as well. Let's take a break. Maybe after your work. I won't be saying not to use it on your work, your social media. That would be very harmful. But other than that, um, stop using for only 2 hours a day. Try 2 hours without going, without getting your hands to your phone, without asking. Now don't go and ask, I'm going to spend 2 hours without you. Give me a curated version, give me a itinerary how to use this 2 hours. No. Think about it. How do we make the best use of 2 hours? Spend time appreciating yourself. Okay, appreciating how your body is in real life and not the digital version of yourselves on phone. The unfiltered version, the unfiltered face, your textured skin. It's beautiful. The more you look at into your digital version, every time you want to upload something, you would go on to edit those pictures to beautify, or AI fix it. It's just making it's making your self-esteem go lower, your self-love becoming lower. And in today's world, if the first thing you need to appreciate is yourself, Okay. And not, see, social media is so different. Now you might think, why am I jumping to social media? Because see, social media is our day-to-day, what do you say, element that we live among in 24 hours. Let's say we are using social media for minimum 6 hours a day, minimum. Okay. So there is people, you'll be seeing photos, you'll be seeing videos, you'll seeing people exploring a beautiful moment in Paris, let's say. There will be comparison moment. This person's skin is so good. The hair is so flawless. They are so rich, going on execute vacations every once a while. How do you know that those pictures are authentic? How do you know they have not, done some AI magic? If it's really, standing in front of AR, if Eiffel Tower, or is it just some green screen kind of thing, making it look real? That is the reason why when you are uploading, and you'll be having thoughts like, why people are uploading such pretty pics, let me also fix my face, do some AI magic and upload it. Appreciation about your own self, the real version, needs time, yes, but once you learn to do it, you'll become more powerful. You'll become the strongest person for yourself. Do not reach for AI chatbots the second you are waiting. Most of us will find this reliable. The moment we are bored, the moment we do not have anything to do, we just go on to our chat bots, ask questions. Instead, if you're bored, if you're feeling like waiting is making you feel, or you do not want to even write, reach out to a human friend of yours. Old college friend, reach out to them, old friends. Even they'll be busy. If they are also someone who's using AI, and getting busy, if when you'll text them or when you'll call them, they'll also have a piece of their mind, or piece of their moment, and then you'll have a good time. Okay. Or if nothing, then let your brain daydream. Sometimes even daydreaming is healthy. Try practicing this three uh, b- points starting from today. Let's use the best of ourselves. All right. Now that AI is everywhere, we cannot just ignore the fact that artificial intelligence is not there. Because if we do not use artificial intelligence now, we'll be the one who'll be lagging behind, right? So I don't want you to do that. Let's learn how to make AI as our co-pilot and not our leader, not someone who we depend on. Rather, we'll be using it as a co-pilot. Let's create and not consume. Okay. Let's all here are the points in the screen. Use AI to write, to design, to learn, to build, and not just to scroll and observe. Not just spending a whole day talking to your chatbots. Rather, if you have to, ask meaningful uh, work to do, some task for creation, learn how to do few things. Try those. And mostly, second thing, and I think all of us needs to adapt this to our day-to-day life. Set intentional goals. Before you take your phone, before you open AI, assistants, ask yourself, why am I opening this? Is it just to chat like a friend, or is it because I really need some assistance in solving a question, or let's say solving a task, or maybe how to fix a light bulb, or how to fix maybe the remote. Those kind of assistance, yes, go ahead. That is why our assistance is with us, right? So ask before you grab, or before you open the app, your chat app or your AI app, ask yourself, why are we going? What is it that we need? All right. And also, do not replace AI with your human friend, with your human touch. Let AI handle important tasks like how to solve this and that, but not your emotional problems, not your life problems. Don't replace it. Go talk to your human person, a friend, your partner, or if you're needing some mental health assistance, go talk to a therapist. Most importantly, stay self aware. Today, after this webinar, ask yourself, and I think all of you might this have this question right now already. If you are, uh, if your AI is making you feel empowered or dependent, if it's not there, if this question is not there already, this is high time that you ask yourself. This is the moment you ask yourself, is my AI making me feel empowered or is making me feel dependent? You're learning to play a string instrument, let's say ukulele, with the help of AI. Good. You are learning to fix a water pump with the help of AI. That's how you're making empowered. You're learning to process your emotions. You are learning to feel better with the help of um, AI. That's maybe a dependency we smell here, right? So ask yourself right now, right here, is the AI making you feel empowered or is it making you feel dependent? All right. A few things to remember. Technology will get smarter, even more smarter every year, every time. But it won't get realer. What is real is you, yourself, the humans around you, the people around you. Don't let a smart tool make you fragile person. Okay. And I don't want anybody to get offended. I don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves for using AI assistance as your emotional support so far. But face the reality, understand it that, okay, we had made a few mistakes, but there is always a chance to be better. How do we bring on changes? Okay, how to balance technology and still live the life, live our moment, right? Again, when we talk about balancing AI, balancing technology does not mean using less and less technology, but it means not losing yourself while using it. So I want all of you to ask yourselves today, from the morning you wake up, okay, let's ask about today, the moment you woke up today, how many times maybe you have visited an AI assistant? How many times you might have uh, asked a question to an AI toolbox? Some might be a couple times, someone might be a few times, someone might be not at all, right? So after all these slides that I have shown today, think about that, how do we can balance AI in our day-to-day life? Because we'll have to use artificial intelligence. Okay, we are in such a world that if you do not learn how to use it, you'll be not be you'll be lagging behind a lot, functionally or let's say professionally as well. So learn good use of AI. There are so many AI tools that help us or guide us for betterment. I think there are tools that help you learn new ideas. There are tools that help you learn new languages. There are tools that help you learn creative work. There are tools that help you learn how to make better slides, better presentations also, you know, for those who in corporate sector. So many things that come up if you think AI as your assistant and not as your best friend or your emotional support system. Okay? For our emotional support, we have our human friends. Let's turn to them. Let's turn to the real connectivity and not be dependent on them. So if any of you, the chat box is open. If anyone has any issues or any questions, you can definitely ask me in the last minutes. Um, we talked about today, I'll just give you a brief uh, about whatever we talked today. We talked about how smart technology, how AI can make our mind fragile or weak, let's say, and what is important is resilience in ourselves. And how do we get that? We get it by by learning how to balance AI in our lives for our better mental health. How AI is, we also talked about how AI, you know, is affecting our mental health. It is making us compare ourselves with others, increasing our anxiety doing so that, and increasing chances of our having other issues such as depression, or there is, we are not able to face criticism, or let's say constructive criticism that people say. We are not able to digest those as well. And that is the reason why you might also have noticed that more and more people get offended these days very easily. Have you noticed it? And then there is also um, techniques on how to balance AI into our lives by also using it as an assistance, as a tool, and how to um, still make our mind powerful. Okay, not under the uh, you know hands off, completely in the support of our assistants. So we'll also be using our technology for our support, for our guidance, and not just for ourselves or just for feeling or for sharing our emotions or our feelings. How do we balance? We talked about how we can balance. We talked about practice. We'll start from today, everyone. 2 hours a day, no technology, no smart tech, no conversation with AI. Now, don't go and ask AI how to spend 2 hours. You'll have to ask yourselves. We'll be starting. We can do deep breathing. We can start writing, practical pen and paper. Now, you might be complaining, you might be thinking, you might be complaining when you feel like writing, your fingers pain. That is the reason why, because you're already constantly on your phone and you do not write, or your laptop, you do not write. That is the reason when you are writing, your hands or your fingers are paining. That is another symptom of fragile physically. And you know what, you see, that is the connection what I'm saying. When you're using so much of AI, your thought processes, they are also becoming fragile. And when you're not using your hands to write down, that is also becoming, your hands are paining, and that is also your fingers are fragile this time. So let's join it. Let's let's start writing, you guys. Let's start writing more, expressing our thoughts. Try practicing journaling. If you cannot write elaborate day-to-day things, that is okay. We take small steps. All right, we'll take small steps. We'll take easy steps, baby steps. Start writing 3 things only per day. 3 feelings that you had today, let's say. 3 emotions, strong emotions that you felt today. If you do not have strong emotions, just write any kind of emotion you had today. If you had a good moment with your partner, if you had a argument with your partner, and what did you feel then? Instead of going to a robot, let's write it down, try to understand our thoughts better. All right. And that yeah and um so that is the tips on how we were talking about balancing AI in our day-to-day life. Thank you so much. So this was about today's topic. We have talked about how can we balance AI in our mental health without affecting our mental health, day-to-day mental health. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Annapurna, for giving such valuable insights to our audience today. We were live on YouTube as well. We had a few viewers there. They couldn't leave comments directly, but I'm sure whoever was present here would get a lot more interactive session from your side. And as we log out today, I just wanted all of you wanted to share Annapurna's profile with all of you. Just give me a second. Yes. So whoever could join us today and could benefit from Annapurna's deep insights and knowledge, she shared small one-on-one tips to how to go about practicing uh, a better mental health care on a day-to-day basis. If you felt that you could do better with further insights and further guidance from Annapurna, she's available on Positivity's platform. This is her profile right here. So you can visit her. I will just drop this link on the chat box as well. There you go. And please do visit this link, read about her expertise, her areas of deep learning and certification. And if you think you want to get started with your journey of better mental well-being, self-care, feel free to book a session with Annapurna. She's available for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and 90-minute session. Whatever works with you, you can get in touch with her through our platform. And I think this is the right kind of nudge that we all need for our mental health care. So let's take that opportunity today. Thank you